putting a trans male or a trans female in a scene, you wouldn't get that on a normal mainstream site. So test it out. See if you get a bigger audience with it. See if you can convert somebody. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to my favorite site. But let's do this undercover.
If you've seen our previous undercover releases, you may be familiar with Mike Farley, the current Pornhub product manager who became one of Pornhub's first employees over 10 years ago, and Dylan Rice, the senior scriptwriter for Pornhub's parent company, MindGeek, now rebranding as ALO, who has written scripts for MindGeek's porn sites and advertisements for over 5 years. Today, meet Sil Fernandez. Fernandez is a production coordinator for some of MindGeek's plethora of porn sites.
How long have you been
at MindGeek?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be 2 years next month.
While states are currently enacting laws to require IDs to prevent children from entering porn sites, these three men talked to our undercover reporter about children viewing pornography on MindGeek sites, including Pornhub and transangelsinmen.com, which are MindGeek sites featuring studio-produced transgender and gay-focused pornography.
How easy is it for like an underage person to view the site?
Just go to the site.
To get on, what do you have to do?
Not much. Probably not much, yeah.
There was a study that was like, I think it was like 11 years old is the average age kids are now viewing. What do you think about that?
I mean, sounds like my age. I also did so.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely associated with puberty.
Right. Like it's natural.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is that a lot of those religious groups will tell you it's not. And that's wrong.
Do you think that kids go on like that?
Do I think they go on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they still go on there for sure.
All you have to do is like what, probably check a box or something to.
I think so, yeah. I probably just ask you, are you 18 years old? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they've done like too much on that. It's got some educational aspects to it, so there's that.
There's so many.
I mean, especially with boys.
Yeah, this is hedonism. Don't care about your moral points or whatever. Just enjoy your pleasure, explore, and they will not tell you about the other stuff. All I can say is the first woman that I saw that was naked, she was blonde, she was white, and her pum pum was very pink. She had a blue bikini and a blue bike, and for some odd reason the bikini broke down with the bike and she was trying to figure it out naked. I still remember that, and for a very long time I only liked white women on an island that had majority black people. So yes, people, it will affect a kid's brain, and I had an issue with jacking off for a very long time because it actually affected me, because I saw women only as a pleasure item.
Rice and Fernandez had more to say about their work, specifically in LGBTQ content.
Do you think some like lonely, repressed 12-year-olds are going on Trans Angels and
Yeah,
learning?
I think so. I mean, like, think about it. Let's say you're 12 years old. You're still figuring out your sexuality, maybe even your gender. Wouldn't it be helpful to see, not a celebration, but just like maybe a normalization of something that you think is what you want, you know? Probably helps a lot.
Yeah. I think it shapes sexual attitude. Like even if you find out you're not, that's not what you prefer.
Yeah, that's an amazing point. Because like, if let's say I was 12 and I saw like Trans Angels, I saw all these different sites, it would help me figure out what I do like and what I don't like. Because if you're exposed to nothing, you have no idea, and maybe you're more like pliable.
LGBTQ, that's like what you work on.
Pretty much that.
Do you think like your work might be helping LGBTQ kids like find themselves?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if everyone, like, you know, it shouldn't just be heterosexual people who have fun.
Some LGBTQ kids who just are so confused.
Of course. No, it's true.
And lonely and like scared, you know?
No, of course. Of course. Yeah, and it's not right for them to feel that way.
Do you think men.com is a good resource for them?
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, they'll find their kink in there, I'm sure.
If you're still here, help me out, like, share, bada bim bam boom, you know, algorithm needs to help, especially with these types of content, because this is a little no-no.
The thing is like when you write for like Sean Cody, which is like primarily gay targeted, when you write for Trans Angels, which is trans female presenting targeted, you also try to see how much you can take of that and bring it to mainstream vanilla content, right? Because like Brazzers and Reality Kings is predominantly for straight men, but you try to like push the envelope as much as you can. Be like, okay, can I hint at like bi content here? Can I like talk more about like, what if we brought a trans talent onto the site? And you kind of like take those risks to try and broaden it a little bit more, even though you know that you have a site dedicated to that, right? Like you're always trying to push it a little further.
Right-wing pundit claims popular adult website is converting straight men with secret messages. Actually, kids too, there's no age verification. Again, not my claim, it's a claim of the seniors employees who admitted it on video.
Rice explains how MindGeek sites gradually introduce and push what he describes as less accepted content.
Brazzers is taking the same approach in that they're the biggest, they're everywhere, so they need to appeal to every single niche. And I think they've done a lot to explore kind of every mainstream thing. So what they need to do now is they need to try to push stuff that's less accepted. Like putting a trans male or a trans female in a scene, you wouldn't get that on a normal mainstream site. So test it out. See if you get a bigger audience with it. See if you can convert somebody, right? Like maybe somebody who's never looked for anything like that might find it interesting and click on it. Same thing for bi stuff, same thing for gay. But bi stuff is usually marketed towards women, but they also want to try to get more men, straight men in on it too, or bi-curious men. Because the thing about Trans Angels, which is a site, it's female presenting trans women, and like they sell that to straight men. Like that's the demographic. So I think the next big step would be trying to do something that's kind of counterculture. Maybe doing like a trans man in a scene, like having a guy, male presenting trans man with a and see how that does. Because we'll see how people react to it differently. But like it's a lot of experimenting and seeing what hits and what doesn't.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a site that you have many young people on that site. They're not even supposed to be there. And if you try to report it, they will tell you don't report it if you're not 100% sure. I'm like, well, people are reporting because they're seeing themselves. And it takes so long. You know why? Because if you report one person, nobody reacts. 20 people need to report from a different angle, and then they're like, we're going to look at it. And guess what? The amount of things they need to look at is so much, they're freaking understaffed. So all the people that say, well, kids are going to find it, they're going to learn, it's educational, you have no idea about the damage that you're doing. But hey, it's a free country. You have human right to watch the thing and learn the things that you want to learn.
Wow, exposing all the secrets.
That's it. All the secrets.
All I can say is, as a person that was an avid watcher of these videos, I knew I had to stop. Because the more you watch this, the more you want more gangster content, and it will affect how you will view women, view your wife. And when I stopped, hey man, I had this gangster energy that I had to tell my wife, ooh, I had some trouble, I had to stop, we need to handle this with passion. And we are at a good place right now. But the thing is, man, the amount of videos that I watched over the years, the amount of time they try to push a female presenting body, and suddenly I'm like, hey, from this angle, hey, what is that? Something dangling, bagong, bagong, bagong. I'm like, damn, this person is even more blessed than me, you know? All I'm saying is, if I had so much issue in my head to handle this, I can't even imagine what they're doing with kids with all the algorithms. You wanna watch something normal? Hey, happy birthday, blug-a-ding blung blung, hey, hanging in the face. Hey, man. Anyway, let me know what you think, because people, it's not that you're looking for the content, they're trying to look for you, looking for straight stuff, so they can push this in your face. That's like you were going to the men.com and you find a preacher, you know, a sermon. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And hey, Life is hard. Keep your kids safe and educate them, because if you don't, they will find a way to educate yours. Like, share, the usual algorithm, people. Peace.